All right. Dan's going to spend a few minutes with us talking about CurseBuster. We're obviously going to go over time, and I am desperate to say a couple of things to sum this up. But here we go, Dan.
Are you going to run the slideshow?
I can run the show.
Okay.
You tell me what to do.
All right. I guess I need to thank my dad for providing a little time here to talk about his machine. Okay, so a little credits. I started on this morning about 9:30, so forgive me if it's terribly off topic and uninformed about the other things that are supposed to be going on here. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a little. This is more aimed towards the people who really don't know what CurseBuster is all about, where it came from, what they're getting into, if they decide they want to get one, or what kind of people they're dealing with if they're going to buy one, become part of the CurseBuster family. So a little introduction. Next slide. This is CurseBuster is just a tillage machine. You all know what a tillage machine is, unlike a lot of people I talk to about it don't even know what a tillage machine is. Like the random truck driver that comes in, what's that over there? Anyway, this is based on the New Zealand aerator that my dad learned about first in the late 70s and 80s when a guy named Peter Bannon, see him here, he's not really angry. He actually loves the Lord with all his heart, and he loves you too. And he thought enough of what the Lord showed him in the late 70s to press on with a year of fasting and prayer to end up developing it's known in New Zealand as a groundhog. And let me see. Yeah, that's what's really led my dad and now me for the last few years on this journey of keeping that kind of a machine alive. It's been on the brink of extinction quite a few points, and now today it's looking probably at its best ever. So next slide. You can see here there's been quite a few attempts to make the machine and make it something that's what farmers want to buy, what they can use, what's really going to benefit them and be a real blessing on their operation. Started out with Airway. They're the ones that Peter Bannon originally contracted with in Canada to build the machine. What was I going to say about that? That's SAF Holland, technically. So that was looking good. My dad, Jim, was encountered it when Airway was producing it, Holland out of Canada, and they were producing a machine that worked well, that produced some really fantastic results, even in short time period of trials on the places where he was working in upstate New York. Did some really fantastic things with making water disappear, standing water disappear in alfalfa fields, and taking hard pans and making them into really nice friable soil and really disastrous types of soil that normally you just forget about. Just let those go back to hay and pasture. But after my dad got out of it in 1988, unbeknownst to him, they had changed the tool. And the way in which the tine is shaped and the arrangement on the rollers on the machine was all altered, and it reversed what this machine was doing in the soil, where it no longer was good for managing water and helping to stimulate root growth, but was instead doing the exact opposite. So in 1998, was it, Dad? 1998, my dad still had this glorious vision of what this machine could do, and there was a guy in Florida that really needed one, and he had an opportunity to sell him one. The guy got out in the field, started running it, and we got really mad because this was not doing at all what Jim told him it was going to do. Any of you guys sell anybody something and it didn't do what you told him it was going to do? That's what happened. And so my dad went down there real quick and tried to figure out what was going on, and ended up was sitting on the concrete for a few hours with a torch and a welder, and they got it pretty well fixed. And since then, it's been something that the Lord has impressed on my dad's heart, that it was his job to put in the correction. So he went from there to, see, what was the first thing we tried? Did a lot of stuff with individual farmers, trying to put together stuff on just converted disc frames and ripper frames, different things, trying to patch things together to figure out a way to make a tool that would really benefit guys. Ended up dealing with a company named PMF out of Canada. You can see their PMF 2200 there on the top right. It's now defunct. Can't find that anywhere being produced anymore. Got Gentil. Probably all anybody who's looked into aeration has heard of Gentil. They do make a correct something that works correctly in the soil, but I don't think God has really blessed what they're doing, just because they are stealing the patented tine, the actual ground engaging blade that's used on the machine. Next we have HCC. That I guess in my mind, they started out with the vision of what it could do, but it's just kind of turned into a tool that got designed a certain way, and they weren't really excited about making it any better, and it's just kind of limping along with one wing, and not really turning out the full benefit that this kind of a tool has to offer. So, to sum it up, you could say that none of these attempts to build an aerator based on the Bannon original have resulted in a machine that satisfied the need for a well-rounded aeration tillage solution. Next slide. Okay. So you see here, this is right down in, well, it's probably pretty close to the split between Adams and Wells counties, south of Fort Wayne. Schuler Brothers had a 36-foot ultra-till. This is one of our little jobs with a farmer, trying to fix him up with something that would do him a good turn. And we turned it into a 40-foot Gentil, basically. I was, let me see, that was 2008, so I was 17. Still pretty wet behind the ears. That's me, you see there, without the beard. Trying to figure out what I'm doing, you see. Trying to figure out what my dad's gotten me into. But, yeah. Somewhere along the way, Jim got the idea that he could get me to figure out how to design a piece of equipment, and that together we'd make a go at building this machine and doing it right. Finally getting this aeration thing right. Yeah. So a year ago, that machine was, as far as I know, that machine, that 40-footer, is still running. By no means an engineering success, but maybe a tillage success. From there, we have, this is the next year. Can't believe there was only a year between those two things. This is 2009 in China. There's one of our Chinese friends there helping us build our first CurseBuster, first one that we built from scratch. That's northeast China there, 5-footer. It's got the heavy rotary harrow, the triple tooled on it. It wasn't a very good engineering success, once again. But it did work right in the soil. It was something that the guy really didn't have to know a whole lot about to get it to go in the field and get the ground tilled up to where it was really aerating the soil effectively, make a good seed bed, root out weeds, and make a nice increase in yields in very short order. So we built our first CurseBuster from scratch, but from there we've gone on to build, let me see, I tallied it up here this morning. We have built 21 CurseBuster machines since then. So there would be 22 in total that we built from scratch. Needless to say, there's been quite a few bumps in the road, things that we thought were going to work in building our own machine that didn't work out, things that are broken that we've had to go and fix. And it's just been practically Jim and me, and my brothers too, help come alongside us and help now and again. But it's a family business, and that's what we're up to. For 2015, our count so far has gone from 21 machines up to 25. We're building 4 of them right now. I think we've got at least one of the guys here that's buying one for this spring in the room. And it's including machines to go to Wisconsin, Canada, and Australia. And I would say today the CurseBuster is at its best yet, with the rollers that are mounted on the rubber torsion suspension system there. Come a long ways, and we started out with using just C-springs like you see on discs. It was either going to do one of two things, either destroy the C-springs or destroy the frame, and if you had rocks. And so we've done a lot of things to try to get stuff that was going to be trouble-free. And this is where we're at for this year. It's not just been the roller suspension that's been getting better. We've got it so that it's easily adjustable. In a lot of ways, there's a lot of more adjustments that you can do, things that you don't have to do by getting out of the cab and working things on the machine. You can do it all from the cab, like switching the angle on your rollers. You can do that from the cab now. Taking and switching it so that the harrows work like a seed bed preparation tool, and then changing from that to something that's going to be more of a gentle weeding tool, or anything in between. It's a whole lot easier to make all those changes. And I put together a little video for this about all these things that we changed for Christmas just here this past Christmas, and I did a good enough job of it then. I didn't think I'd try to ruin it by doing it better now. So on the next slide, we'll just play you the Christmas video for this last year.
Hi guys, Dan Martindale here. For Christmas this year, we thought we would give you all a quick rundown of what will be new for CurseBuster in 2015. This year we are presenting our latest version of the rubber torsion tube roller mounting system and easy to reverse Phillips rotary harrows. The rollers are mounted on subframes that are sprung under the main frame with fully adjustable rubber torsion springs. These are the go-to solution for maximum stability in the roughest and rockiest conditions. Running crossways of your fields for maximum time penetration will be smooth sailing behind a track-equipped horse. Our earlier machines taught us that running crossways is no problem with a tractor, but that our machine was going to take a beating. Now each roller is suspended independently and follows the ground independent of the frame. Both ranks are now swept to the rear for a gentler relieving action. No more having to worry about running into too deep a depression with the front roller. Rollers are now more easily and intuitively adjusted too. Choose your angle by using shims. When equipped with a hydraulic cylinder, the operator can alternate between any two working angles on the go. Reversing the harrows has never been simpler. No valves to turn or special procedures. Reverse at the end of each pass for the most uniform finish across the whole field. Concentrating broadcast fertilizers or seed in between passes will be a non-issue. As always, our harrows can be raised at any time. Valmar seeders can be mounted on all CurseBuster models. Looking to fine-tune the harrow's operating depth or aggressiveness? Switching the harrows between passive and aggressive modes has never been easier. Removing just 2 U-bolts per module gets the job done. No heavy lifting required. The Eagle Tine is now available with tungsten carbide hard facing. It is applied using a low-temp laser process to maintain a high level of purity in the carbide material. These sample tines arrived just the week before Christmas. We expect to see at least double the acres out of these tines. Hope to see you all in 2015 at our winter seminar, tentatively set for the last week in January. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a blessed New Year.